I want to make a case of why you should seriously consider the notion of small churches collaborating in doing ministry and mission. Why you should consider cooperative parishes or clustering, building networks and partnerships among churches. First of all, I think there is a clear biblical mandate. I think the Lord's death wish, John 17, Father, may they be one, that the world might know that you have sent me. The world needs to see visible harmony and unity as mission and ministry is being carried out. When you study the Pauline epistles, you see that this very, very busy apostle gave enormous amounts of time keeping his churches connected with each other, helping each other through their mutual leadership resources, helping each other with the teaching they were receiving, helping each other financially. It was very demanding on his time, and yet it was a priority. It ought to be a priority for us. There ought to be a concern for our neighbor church. There ought to be assumption of responsibility for our neighbor church. Not only do you have the biblical concept, but theologically, when you begin to engage in clustering, you're rethinking the very nature of the church. What did God intend the church to be? Why did He bring it into existence? What is its purpose? And so when you engage in clustering, I think you're revisiting your ecclesiology. What is the nature of the church? What does it mean? What are we supposed to be doing? Then simply practically, folks who participated in clustering, like the churches in Lawrence County for almost 20 years, have clearly demonstrated that they've been doing things or are able to do things that they never would have considered doing by coming together. So you have a strong biblical mandate, you have a theological mandate, I think you have a practical mandate, and I think our culture and what's going on in our society, not only is the church losing ground, so to speak, but I think there's a yearning for community. And I think many of these small churches can provide the social cohesiveness necessary. Rural community, dysfunctional manufacturing communities, but on their own that's very difficult to pull off. But when you get several churches encouraging each other and enabling each other. So I think there's several streams. Now, in addition to that, kind of the unspoken one is, many of the small churches are struggling with survival issues. Are we going to be able to pay the bill? Are we going to be able to call a pastor? How can we staff our programming? The cluster enables and addresses some of those issues. So we just think it's good sense to think seriously about this concept, give it a try. It's not easy. Somebody's going to have to run with it. Somebody's going to have to make it a priority because there are a lot of other demands on our time, but we think it'll reap great dividends for the kingdom if you consider it.